Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel, Auto Auction Rehabs, and this is David. Like the new hat? Yeah, me too. Well, it's darn windy this morning, so I'm hoping I can get some audio that you'll actually be able to hear. This is going to be a little bit different video today. What we're going to do is we're working on the John Deere. So I bought this property and this nice little house, and it's kind of hilly, and there's a lot of grass to mow. So I got this little John Deere to help with the yard work, moving trees, pulling trees. We did take quite a few trees out over here to bring the tree row further away from the house, because it seemed to be a little bit close to me. So we took them out, expanded our backyard, planted some bushes back there, probably plant some flowers, some roses, things like that. Anyway, back to the story at hand. What we're going to do with the tractor today is, since it seems just a little unstable on those hills, especially if you're trying to go along the side or even at a diagonal, and I know you don't want to just travel along the side of a hill, it'll tip over. Well, it had a brush hog on it, and I brush hogged when I first got back, so that's done. So I took it off. And now what I want to do to help minimize the tipability is these spacers from Brotec. And they are going to go behind the wheel here, right? And I'm going to take those wheels and have them filled with ballast. So let me get a few things set up. We'll lift this thing up in the air, pull the wheels off, and put the spacers on, put some blocks underneath there because, well, the weather is such that it may be a bit windy and rainy today, so I don't want my tractor falling over. So I'm going to put some wooden blocks underneath there in case it does slip. Actually set it down on the wooden blocks and not leave it on the jack. So let's get started. I've already placed the jack, so you didn't have to hang out with me when I was running around finding my tools, which wasn't too difficult because I got no storage, and my tools are either in the trailer or in the back of the truck. So that's a couple inches off the ground. And I'm a firm believer in these. These are great. I keep one in the truck. Let's see, which side did I use? This one, I believe. All right. These are really good to have, you know, if you're stopping along the side of the road to give somebody a hand and your jack doesn't happen to fit their lug nuts and they don't have a jack, whatever, you know, it's just handy. It's just handy. And these being aluminum, I don't want to use a impact, because those studs are pressed into the aluminum, and I'm just afraid that using an impact might cause them to pull out a bit. I don't know. It's possible. What do you guys think? So let's pull this first wheel off. And now I'm going to see if there is any ballast in these to begin with. I'm thinking not. Nope. So these will go in the back of the truck. I might as well put them in. Oh, my key's in there. All right. Just throw it over here. All right, there's one. Now, just for safety's sake, let's do this. You know, safety first. So in case that sucker comes down. All right. So these are the real deal. They're machined aluminum for the correct bolt pattern. You can get aftermarket ones. I don't know if you can see this or not, but these have the correct milling for the bolts, which are like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. Now, let me get a rag, if I've got one handy here. Let's see. I'm gonna have to jump in there. I just noticed the tires on my truck are about halfway shot, which I guess isn't too bad of a thing since they got 30,000 miles on them. They've been excellent tires. All right. So we're going to wipe this off here so that we get a good solid contact. No grass or oils or anything like that left behind. It does seem like they've put some sort of coating on here. I don't know what that's about. Anywho's, let's see if this sucker fits. First of all, let's see, does this fit in here? It does. Now that's an excellent thing. And I always like to hand tighten first, because although, I was just going to say, although cross-threading is nature's Loctite, I got Loctite. There we are. I'm going to turn this camera a little bit. See if that's any better. Let me see if I can see it. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. So anyway, nature's Loctite. Well, we want to do it the right way this time. And the book recommends, or the little paper that came with it, recommends blue Loctite. Oops. So that's what we're going to do. Man, now I got to go cut the tip of this off so that I can use it. I kind of thought that. I usually carry a knife. Let's see what I got in here. All right. We break out the handy dandy Gerber. It's sort of like a Leatherman. It's a utility type tool. I want a knife. Where is the knife? There it is. Now I would say that this one is going to be adequate for just cutting the little tip of this off. Let me get in a little closer here. Oh yeah, that's sharp. Good deal. A little splash of Loctite on the blade so I can never get it back out again. And oh, the wrong side, I think. Okay, you got to pull them both. All right, very good. Put that bad boy away. I like to carry this thing around. Anywho's, a little dab of Loctite will do you. And drop that in there. here in the correct position. The problem is I really can't get my fingers in there to turn it. So, let's see. That's why they say Loctite, because you're not going to want to take this out again. And I got to get it started so that I can get the tool on there. There we go. There we go. And just gently put that down there like that, just to where it touches. And there's basically no way to do other than the right thing, because there's no other option. So we'll just put the bolt in there and turn it gently. Make sure it's going in, and it does. And we're not even going to snug it up. We're just going to get it to where it touches. Mr. Bug, you need to go away. Okay. We have lots of bugs here in Tennessee. We got bugs that I have never seen before. And coming from Thailand, that's saying something. There's some crazy bugs around here. Oh, well, don't think that's the right end. Nope, that's not it either. There we go. Blue Loctite, blue towel. That's the thing about, I spent a little bit more on these particular spacers because A, they come with the proper hardware with the, see, these are what's going to go on the wheel to hold it on, and these studs are pressed in, not threaded in, and these nuts are tapered just like the bolts. So, guarantees a fit. Now, doing research on some other brands, it would seem that they are not tapered, and there's no significant recess for, they just don't fit as well, according to my research. So, I spent a bit more. Got the right one so that I only have to do it one time. Now, that's kind of unlike me. I usually go for what's maybe not the cheapest, but the best bargain. And for me, actually, this is the best bargain because I know I'm only going to have to do it once. Now, I snugged that one down, but a little bit. And you just need a little dab of the blue stuff. And this is the one that's left. Now, these are some really nice looking spacers. They're machined very well. They came packaged very well. I mean, a pretty small box, really. So let's snug them down. And then we'll torque them. This one's probably the one that's directly across. And then we get this one. And then, since they're snug now, I'm just going to go around in the same pattern, tighten them down a little bit more, and then I'll stand up so that I can get the proper leverage. And torque them down. Alright, let me put the cap on the blue stuff before I lose it. There we go. All right. Let's see. I'm going to look at this. 19 millimeters is what we need. Click. Oh, come on. There we go. Click. Just enough to where before your elbow or shoulder pops. Just before that. All right, so now I'm just going to go around the circle to double check. Last thing I need is something falling off. And this is actually a fairly tight fit for the tool, you know. But it's not rubbing. Oh, I forgot to say click, but they're good. All right. Well, there we go. That's what they look like. I'm going to go ahead and get the other side done. And then I will be taking these to the shop to have them filled with ballast, the tires and wheels. Bring them back, put them on, and we'll go for a before and after look. I just want to take a photo of this side, see how it looks, and then we'll do it again in the after phase. All right, well, I've done one side with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and do the other. Throw it in the back of the truck, go on down to the shop, have them filled with ballast, come on back, and we'll see you guys in what'll be a second to you, a couple hours to me. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe if you like what I do, even if you don't. And yeah, that's the only way the channel is going to survive, is if I get more subscribers. And I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not doing this for the prestige. I'm doing this because I'm retired and it's my hobby. So there we are. Y'all take care. Hopefully see you back very shortly when I come back with the tires that have the ballast in. But take a look at this. It's getting darker and darker, and it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. May not be able to put them back on today, or I might just do it in the rain. Let's see. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I truly do appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in a minute. Well, we made it back from the tire store. Little 30-mile drive. Get to the tire store that takes care of putting ballast into the tractor tires. They usually put the ballast in the bigger tractor tires, but you know what? I thought I'd give it a try because it sure seems like maybe the 160 pounds or so would help. So let's pull one of these guys out and try and put it on there. Let's see, which side is this one? Okay, these are directional tires, so you got to put them on the correct side. Now, I didn't lift them into the truck. The tire store did that for me. Oh yeah, you can hear them. Oh yeah. So that's an extra 80 pounds. So I'm going to feel that. Okay. So let's see. I think this is this side. And I just put some extra wood underneath here when I left, in case the jack lost pressure. And we'll take these off. And again, I'm not going to use the impact. I'm just going to use the cross. Yeah, it probably would have been a good idea to double check and make sure this bolt pattern is correct before I mounted these on there. But they assured me when I bought them that they were the right ones, so I can tell you 80 pounds definitely makes a difference when you're lifting them up. Make sure I got the right side again. Yep, that's correct. Correct side. Now I don't know if that cross has a small enough size to it. Okay. 80 pounds, huh? Well, we'll see. Is it still 19? That's 17, that's 19. Yeah, I guess it's the right size. Sure seems to be. All right. See, these lug nuts have the tapered end to them, and that is what is required for these wheels. Now, as long as I can do this without pushing the thing off. Oh my goodness. All right. So the extra 80 pounds does make a difference. Let's see. I really do not want to bung up the threads. Son of a gun. Well, work smarter, not harder. See if that helps. Yep. Now we're a little too high, but that's okay. We can adjust that. We need to go up about a ½ inch. Fellas, there's no point in killing yourself. There we go. Yep. So now I need to be able to get the board out. Good thing it's not a full-size tractor. There we go. There we go. Very good. Boy, that looks really nice. I don't know if you could hear that sloshing around in there from the liquid. What they do use is beet juice. However, the store I went to doesn't carry it anymore because nobody would buy it because it's like 3 times more expensive than the stuff they did use, which is a methanol mix, which is pretty much the same formulation as your windshield washer fluid, so it won't rust the inside of your wheel and it won't freeze. So there we go, and it's about the same weight. And I'll tell you what, I sure hope this makes a difference. I'm thinking it will. And which one makes the most difference? I don't know. Probably what makes the most difference is the spacers. But if the additional weight helps a little bit as well, perfect. And when you do have ballast in your wheels, when you're checking your air pressure, you always want to make sure that your valve stem is at the top, because otherwise the liquid will go into your tire pressure checker, and the alcohol in it will kill it. So always make sure your valve stem is at the top. Now these studs that I'm tightening down now are pressed into the spacer. So I don't want to go too tight. I have no idea what torque would be required to pull them out. I don't want to test that. These are far too expensive. Okay. Now let me see how gracefully I can get this other one down. You know what? There we go. And that goes this way. They're a nice looking tire. I like them. Bring you guys over here. So this is what we're working with. See, these have a raised edge that fits into the wheel itself. It also has a machined area so that it fits onto the hub properly, not just flat. And these tapered lug nuts are the bee's knees, as they say. So let's get you guys over here and get these lug nuts off. And then once we've done all this, I think we'll take her for a little spin. I'll have to go inside and get the keys, but let's get these off. Oh, it's become windy. It cleared right up, but I'm thinking there's some rain clouds on the way over the horizon. Alright, why you say am I not taking them all the way off? Well, because if I drop it and it rolls into the dirt and grass, if I don't find it, I'm in a bit of a mess. So, I just take them off by hand. Now, you might say, gee, why did you use the hitch area to lift the tractor? Well, it's very sturdy looking, and I've been on the John Deere sites and other people have done it and they said no problem. So that's what I did. It's interesting stuff under here. Made in America from Chinesium parts by the looks of it. Okay. According to the stickers. All right. Take this out of the way. Let's see what happens here. Although we are on a slope, I don't think this side is any more shallow. Yeah, we're gonna have to go up quite a bit. All right, so we're gonna use the board trick again. It's easier to slide it on the board too, instead of trying to push it across the cement, which has a very rough texture. So let's get this bad boy on and we can go for a little ride before the rain comes. All right. Come on, big guy. It's got some heft to it now. That's for sure. Just kind of scoot it on there so I don't break my neck or herniate or anything like that. It's not easy to turn either. Yeah, looks like I might just have to use the old leg muscles and hopefully not fall. All right, 1, 2, 3. Phew. All right, we did it. Put these on here real quick. And I'll go get the keys. An extra 80 pounds makes a huge difference on these as far as putting them on. But we were able to get them on, or get them off, get them filled, get them back on in just a few hours. It's not even lunchtime yet. All righty, and there we are. Now then, let us take a look from the back and see how that looks. And I'm going to say that looks it looks wider than 2 inches to me, but I guess that makes a huge difference. The extra 2 inches makes a huge difference. Be careful, fellas. All right. Very good. Let me get the jack out of here. I'll go get inside and get the keys, and we'll go for a little spin and see how it does. Be right back. All right. I just want to have another look from back here. It looks pretty darn good. Let's see if we can see if it made a difference or not. Take her out for a little spin. Let the glow plugs warm up. All right. Well, I can say that I do notice a little bit of a difference in how it handles on the side of the hill. Not bad. I think it'll make a decent difference, worth the effort and the expense for safety's sake. With the additional weight when the grass is wet, hopefully it's not just going to spin and slide, which is what it did do after I took the brush hog off. So this pad here, that's just for, it was put there to put a shipping container on, but I don't want to sit on the back porch and look at a shipping container. So the shop is going right over here, right there. And eventually this will be parked inside, and this will have some chairs and a fire pit on it. And yes, I will trim back some branches so that when said fire pit is lit, we're not going to have any issues, and we're far enough away from this. So I'm thinking, put the fire pit right here, The only issue is that I believe that there is an underground 12-inch PVC water main. So I believe that comes right through here. I know for a fact where that blue stake is, way over there by that second wood pile. That is where it is, and I believe it comes straight down through here, just to the edge of this. So I don't know if I really want to put it there. I don't know how deep it is. And if I put it on this side, the wind typically blows this way, so it might not be quite as comfortable. So when they're coming to put the garage together, they are going to determine exactly where the pipe lies, and if I can get that, and if it's where I think it is, which is about 6 or 7 feet away from the edge of that pad, then I can put just like a 3x3 fire pit right here in the middle. The wind blows this way, you know, this way, and if we're sitting over here, we'll be out of the smoke. But you know how it is with a campfire, fellas. You light the fire, and no matter what side you sit on, that's the way the wind is blowing. But I do know that almost all the time, the wind blows this one direction. If it comes from the opposite direction, that means you're getting a heck of a storm. So prepare yourself. Anywho's, we lost that tree you saw over there that I pushed out of the way just for something to do with the tractor. When I moved that, boy, you could smell Christmas all over the place. It was really nice pine scent. But that was the best pine type tree that we had. And what happened to it? Well, during our largest storms over the last couple months, we did have some rotational winds, and that tree was right here, and it basically got twisted around. It just got twisted and broke right off at the bottom. I already cut the stump, but anyhow, so if you're looking to put some spacers on your John Deere, drop me a line, drop me a message, let me know. I can send you the information on the place that I got them. Like I said, I did spend the extra money to get the proper ones, and I would say it's worth it because everything seats real well. Of course, after the first use, I'll be checking the lug nuts, make sure everything's still good. All right, so I think that'll do it for this video. We need to get started on cleaning up that car so that we can build it. This one over here and this one over here. I think I'm going to clean that up to sell, and the same thing with the Caprice. I still have the C10 and the Corvette to work on. I'm getting on in years and don't know how much time I have to do this stuff, but I'm going to work on it until I can no longer do so. That's the plan. So if you guys want to follow along and see what happens, I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe. That helps the channel out a lot. We'll see you all real soon on the next one.